Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Abraham San. I'm coach, speaker, professional dancer, and an author. Before we begin, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more of this amazing information. Today's conversation is about character. I believe one of the most, if not the absolute lonely things that we all desperately must have in this world to succeed. And over time, this is something that we all struggle with, especially when it comes to the definition of character and personality. And in front of me is my book that I just recently wrote and published on Amazon, The Inner Light. In this, I talk about a lot of my own journey to this place I am today, where I feel complete peace. I'm absolutely in control of my life and the ability to do the things that I absolutely desire. It is my hope, it is my desire that whoever is watching, listening to this podcast will find within themselves deep the character that they are, deep within themselves, that thing that makes them who they are, and allow you to become the best version of yourself. And that best version of ourselves isn't found in our personality. Now let me explain. Characters are not found in the things that we do, the clothes that we wear, the posts that we see on Instagram. The reason for this is the simple difference between our character and our personality is this. Character is deep within, which means character is internal, whereas personality is without, external. So it's everything that we see, we do on a regular basis, and things that we aspire to be that we see in other people. And when we go down this road, we get lost in what is now known as personality disorder, because we get lost in the fact that we don't have self-identity. We don't know who we are. We don't even know where we're coming from, better yet understand where we're going. But I'm here to tell you today that within you, you are perfect. You are complete. You are made whole in everything that you are. And everything that you ever wanted and ever needed is within you. Your own power, your own control. And the first thing to do this is for you to master yourself. My reason for choosing the topic of character today, and there will be many other topics we will be discussing as we go. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and share this message with someone whom you know will benefit from this. There are few reasons that some people seemingly make it in life and others don't. And more often than not, it's the majority who struggle to find a way in this world, to find a way through this life that they want. I hope that by listening to my message on character, you will be able to self-discover within you who you are so that you can become the master of your domain. I have written some notes that I will be speaking from today to explain a little bit more on character versus personality and how we can achieve and hone into character. For starters, when we're looking at character, we have to think about three things. It must be of a virtue that is derived from the purity of our own hearts and a faith that we have within ourselves to understand and gain control over whatever it is that we're feeling within ourselves. And some of the virtues that we talked about, or the characteristics that we talked about when it comes to character, are purity, faith, integrity, to name a few. So before you do anything in this world, anything, whether personal or professional, ask yourself these questions. It is a question that I've always asked myself. The number one question that always comes to my mind is, do I have the passion, the desire that is driven within me to achieve this goal? And if so, do I or am I willing to be patient with the process? Because I have a passion for something doesn't make it easy to achieve. The next must need is having the patience for the process so that we can grow this to the process of nurture. Because nature is always around us and things will always happen for our good. And then the third thing is having the fortitude to persevere through anything and all things that comes in our way. You do not get to truly understand a person until you have understood their character. And it isn't the behavior of a person, the habit of a person that defines them, because those are habitual. Things can be changed. So in essence, when it comes to judgment, I would encourage every one of us, me, I myself included, that in order to judge a person or situation, we must make time to understand and assess reason. When we reason with the things that happen to us in our lives, we give ourselves permission and opportunity to be patient with the process, which allows us to persevere through it all. There can be no fair judgment without first understanding the character of a person. For example, here I am sitting at this desk, at this podcast, and someone might see me. The first thing maybe you might see and judge me on will be my outfit, how I dress, how I speak, how I look, the things that I do, without ever considering the deep nature within me that actually drives me to be the person that I am. To go further, let me tell you a personal story. Today I'm sitting here sharing with you my experience through life. Those experiences are based on the knowledge that I've gained that have now become the wisdom. We first experience things, and then the second, if we truly desire to learn from this, we want to reason with it. And through my reasoning of the things that have happened to me from a perspective that is objective, I'm able to clearly assess the path that I've walked. And those experiences have totaled together to make me who I am today, which is some aspect by looking into my past truthfully and honestly and assessing my past. It is how one is able to truly and honestly put an assessment on me if they desire to judge me at all. I don't recommend or encourage us to live in the negative past. I do, however, encourage us to learn from every single life experiences that comes in our way. Because those experiences were meant to help us deepen our belief and faith in the characters that we are. There are reasons to all these things. The number one thing that we need to do continuously is to self-evaluate, self-assess. Because those things, those feelings that we have are coming from deep within. Maybe I have a headache. Maybe I didn't drink enough water last night. Maybe I didn't sleep well last night. Maybe I'm stressed about something I don't really know is affecting me in a way that I believe. Just maybe, if I sit back for a moment and think of what happened through from last night to this morning, I might be able to figure out why I am feeling the way I am. So, the story that I want to tell you is this. I was born in West Africa, in Liberia, having no electricity, no running water, and pretty much having to deal for myself and also everything. And from the outside looking in, everyone that was around me, including my family, no one saw me in this position where I'm sitting now. Because it wasn't on the card for me if I was simply looking at the personality, at the things that I have, the things that I was doing, where I was in time, that authorship wasn't for me. Professional dancing wasn't for me. Becoming a speaker wasn't for me. Entrepreneur was not for me. Not in the way that we come to understand now anyway. The only thing that was for me, based on the personality and the environment from where I came, it was to grow up and be my father's son and my mother's son and take care of the farm. It is a great thing that my character was stronger than my personality. My character was stronger than the behaviors that I was exhibiting or that were being exhibited around me. Within myself, I have faith that is so pure, honor and integrity that was unshakable, to know and believe that I was meant for something different and better than where I was. Now, most people wouldn't believe this at that age in their life, let's say around age 9 or 10, to know what you want. Some of us are blessed. Some of us are gifted. I, for one, truly consider myself a blessed child. A blessed child of my Creator who gives me everything that my heart desires, and who also gives you everything that your heart desires. Most importantly, I am blessed with the wisdom to know what I want and how to go after and get it without fear. Henceforth, I am now loving fearlessly and living fully, with all intention, with all purpose, to achieve one thing, a peace that is everlasting, because I have been promised this by my Creator. Joy that is endless, love that is unbreakable, and heart that cannot be fainted. Because when our characters are stronger and they are a dominating part of us, our personality then becomes the external things that we do that people see that attract them to us. So the question to you is, do you have faith within yourself to make decisions that other people will not agree with, but that you agree with, and you know that it is the best decision for you, not in a selfish way, but it's the best decision for you because it's going to benefit so many more whom desire the best from you. For example, I knew I had a family that I came from that had limited beliefs. And those limited beliefs were instilled in them from previous generations. And it has been from generation to generation, living and breathing and doing the exact same thing. Then I, for one, can decide. I had two choices. Go with what is given me, what I know, or I can carve my own path towards the journey that I want. And to this point, when we talk about character, in the Greek definition, is a symbol, is an imprint on the soul. So think about that for a second. If character is a symbol or an imprint on the soul, then each and every one of us have a separate tattoo within our soul that guide our direction. Now, with everything good, there is something to be considered bad in our minds. And with everything bad, there is something to be considered good in our mind. And I say this because the mind is the most powerful tool given us. And the mind is guided by our thoughts. Whatever we think, the mind accepts as true, because it is our thoughts that creates our habits. And our habits leads to the action that we take. And our habits lead to the decision, to the results that we have in our life. But along the way, we forget and we blame other people who are surrounding us in those moments that we're somehow a part of this. We blame external looking without instead of internal looking within to see what is that indelible mark on each and every one of us that is driving us. Why is it that we wake up every day having two different feelings, two sets of decisions to make, and we cannot make either, one or two of them? So if you have a person of a good character versus person of a weak character, or let's say strong and weak character, the person with the strong character is only seemingly strong and better because they have one thing over the person with a weaker character. They have embodied who they are on that indelible mark made within themselves through faith, through integrity, through patience, through passions, and the belief to persevere through any and all obstacle that comes their way. And then there's a person with a weaker character who have the same desires perhaps, but the faith isn't as strong. The belief isn't as strong. The integrity isn't as strong. So therefore they waver in the decision making. Ask yourself this question. Have you ever thought about doing something, and the first instant, in that moment when it first came to you in your mind, it sounded so beautiful, so good, so great. But then you took a moment and pause and ask yourself, quote, this is too good to be true? What are the downfalls? What are the downsides? What could go wrong? Have you ever found yourself doing this? If so, remember that you're now allowing your weaker character, which is our fear, which is also good, depend on how we utilize it. That is standing in the way of us making a decision to become the person that we want to be. So if you ever find yourself in a place, in a situation from this point forward, where you made a decision and it was something really, really good, and in your mind, you knew that if and when achieved, it would bring peace to not only you, but to so many. Stop there. Don't look for the red lights. Yes, I understand that there are always red flags. But remember this. The mind is powerful, and we will always find what we seek. And if we go searching for negative energy, we will find negative energy. If we go searching for positive energy, we will find positive energy. If we go searching for good result, we will find good result. So if I put in my path that the light is not as bright as it is, and that someday it's just all going to fall apart, then I have already set myself up for this. I will most certainly get this. I looked at this as simply as the manifestation of the human mind through his or her own character. When we manifest anything, it is giving us the way we manifest. And when those results seem to happen, we then say, well, I knew this. I knew I shouldn't have done this. I knew that was wrong, and I still did it anyway. Well, you manifested that it was going to be wrong. You decided and accepted the fact that it was going to be wrong. So why are you surprised that you are now giving the result that you manifested? Why are you angry that you're now giving the result that you manifested? Isn't it better that you manifest the good? And if, for whatever reason, the bad, quote, seem to happen, that we accept it for what it is, as a learning opportunity, as a chance to start over? Wouldn't that be a better alternative instead of manifesting it beforehand? People in my life and close to me, because they ask me about why don't I see or think about the bad stuff? Well, because of what I just told you. I have a mind that is very powerful, and I believe that whatever I manifest will come through. And if this is my character, believing within this, within the purity of my heart, that I want to be good for humanity, that I want to be good for society, why would I manifest anything bad and expect something good to come of it? You are a blessed child. And whether you believe in God as a creation of this world or the universe as God, the man who said God created the universe and the man who said the universe is God are both correct. Are both correct. Because if the universe is God, then God created the universe. Think about it this way. We come from our parents, and we take on certain traits and characteristics and personality from our parents. So in some way, shape or form, we grow to become our parents, just as they were. What we do along the way, however, is to try, or at least the goal would be, to try to become the better version of our parents. The version that they could not attain because they didn't see a way to it. Take the best part of them and then become that. And if the universe, let's just say, is God, and the universe is going to give us everything and all things that we want, then this is simply the reason why energy cannot be defined. Because energy is. It exists everywhere. It is not created and cannot be destroyed. So if you have something that is indestructible, something that you cannot necessarily create, again, then what do we do with it? So if the universe exists and it has everything, it holds everything that I desire, and this energy is vibrating around me every day, wouldn't it be better that I manifest all the positive within the universe so that the universe can hear and feel my positive energy? Wouldn't it be better that the universe hear and feel my true and purest intention and desire for culture, for society, for humanity? Because if that was the truth and the universe is God, then God is also within me to connect me to that energy that is boundless. So instead of creating boxes, I choose to exist within the moment, with the energy that I have in the moment, and do the best that I can in the moment that I am. Because the one thing that is guaranteed is this moment now. Beyond this moment, nothing else is guaranteed until I am fully fulfilled now. The result of tomorrow is the seed planted today. Decision, outcome are one and the same. My outcomes are based on my decisions. My decision produced my outcome. So if this is true, be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of the energy that you give, that you project. Be mindful of the things you bring to yourself, because the energy that we gather are the energies that we're manifesting from within. I love life. And I love people. And I love the satisfaction that I get from knowing that I made progress today. The progress that I make today is so significant, but I may not see that result today. I may see that result 10 years down the road. But again, that's the progress that I made today that lead to a result that will come tomorrow. Be a person that lives in the present with a vision to create a future that they desire. Manifest the world that you want to live in, and let this world be a positive one. And no, it is not fantasy, because if it were fantasy, I wouldn't be here. If manifestation of goodness in life was a fantasy, I wouldn't achieve anything that I have today. Not being able to get my education until age 11 to start going to school. Being at that age, sitting in the first grade class, understanding very well that I am late to the process. I have one choice. Passion for what I truly want, and that was success at all costs. Doing so the right way. And then, with that passion, came patience, so that I can really enjoy the process and accept it for what it is, because the end result was already manifested in my mind. There was no doubt ever in my mind that I was going to become an entrepreneur. I first realized this at age 10. It was on a Christmas morning, and every Christmas morning we would gather together at my uncle's house. He was the one successful person in the family, and I want to believe that he absolutely influenced me to aim higher every single day. Because watching him and knowing him to be the one that everyone looked up to, it really allowed me the opportunity to learn by watching and listening to the things that he would say and the things that he did, and the things that he's still continuing to do today. So as we were at this Christmas morning, he asked the question, what do we want to be? I can never forget. Everyone went around the table deciding what they wanted to do, to be in life. When it came to me, I opened my mouth, said without a question or doubt that I wanted to be a businessman. Being as smart as he is, my uncle did not really say much, but there was laughter filled the space where we were. My cousin, my sisters, my brother, everyone laughed at me. Businessman, who was I? I haven't really even started my education. Why would I choose to be a businessman? Well, that's what in that moment, deep within my character, I found. That's what I felt in that moment that I wanted to be. Maybe I didn't know how to articulate it, but I knew I wanted to be that, and I was going to become a businessman, no matter what. But then my uncle suggested, that is a wonderful goal, you know? How about, but every businessman, one way or another, had a career or a degree. For example, they were a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, like any of those things. What would you like to be? I said, well, I did not recant. I don't know. But if I don't become a businessman, I think I'll become a soccer player or football player, as we call it in other countries, not in the US, right? So I think I'll become that, if not a business. That was my second answer. Again, I was laughed at for this, but I received less laugh of the choice to be a football player or soccer player, because this is one thing that I was doing and I did it very well. And I think most of my family, my brothers and sisters, because they kind of believed that I was good at it. So there was less laughed about this, although it was my second choice. So in that moment, I was judged prematurely based on what my family thought was my limit. I didn't have it aiming to become a business person. How would I start? Where would I go? Well, that was my decision then, and it will be my decision today. And now that I sit here, an entrepreneur, an author, speaker, coach, I can only be grateful to my Creator, who gives me everything that I am, who blessed me with so much in abundance that I never thirst and I never hunger for peace, for love. For the longest time, I did hunger for these things before I understood it. But we'll get to that later on. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and share this message with people that you know will benefit from it. Because what I know is that I have many people around me in my own tight circle of friends who are dealing with their own personality disorder because of the lack of awareness and truly define and understand the character that they are. To succeed in anything in life and have peace, one must learn to master his own self. And self-mastery is achieved only through the character that is discovered within ourselves. Be the leader of your domain. Be the host, the author of your own life. You have the power within you. You have the control within you to uphold and live up to any height, any dream that you ever desire. You have everything the world has to offer you, but you have more to offer the world, because in you, the world doesn't know what you have. When we look at sports, we can see greatness comes from players that seemingly were unexpected. One of the most recent great and one of my most favorite person is Tom Brady. And as blessing would have it, I moved to the state in 2003. And at this point, Tom Brady was coming around, and I instantly became a Patriots fan. The organization structure that they had, and then the integrity of the team and how they emphasize it. I instantly grew fond of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick at the same time, because Tom Brady each and every day continues to prove and defy the odds against him, as it was labeled based on the personality trait. And he defied everything that people judge him on to be a better quarterback. He didn't only become a good quarterback, as we know. He became one of the greatest to ever play the position. And that cannot be argued. And I think it's so because everything unmeasurable that said a quarterback should have, Tom Brady didn't have it. So how did someone like this become so good, great in the sports that most people didn't even see him? Well, he had heart. He had character that no one else could see. He had patience that people didn't understand. Passions that was unmatched by anything else for the game of football. And now we can see that because of his success. But to truly understand a success of someone like this, we need to go through that past and understand how did they become this. So I was instantly obsessed to know, how did Tom Brady become so successful? When did he start playing football? When did his passion grow? And it never fade. And at every point in his life, he's always had obstacle in his way. Too small, too weak, too lame. He can't throw the ball. High school wasn't easy for him. He has had to go through these challenges time after time. In college, the same thing. In the NFL, it didn't get any easier. So he was never the front runner in everything that he did, but he became the greatest through everything that he did everywhere he went. Nothing was ever handed to me. Nothing was ever promised to me. Nothing was ever approved to me to say that I was going to gain this. Everything that I've ever achieved in life to this point and that I continue to achieve were made-believe of my own. And I continue to do the same thing each and every day. I wanted to come to the United States someday. No one whispered that in my ear. I did. I will always tell my family that someday I'll go to America. Didn't know how. I did not know when. But I wanted it, I knew it, and I manifested it. And I came to America. Not how I planned it, not how I thought it would be, but just that it happened. And when I got to America, I promised myself that I will be a success in 20 years. 20 to 25 years, I will be a success, no matter what. Whether or not I'm late to the game, it doesn't matter. Whether or not I'm 4 years behind in school, it does not matter. I will be a success in 25 years, max. Well, as you can see, I am doing just that. And this is only the beginning. And I do not have a supernatural power. Nothing special, just that I believe more in the character that I am, and I have consistently followed that. And with that, I want you to understand that you have the same, and be the character that is indestructible. Be of love that is unshakable. Be of heart that cannot faint. A pillar that others can see and gravitate towards. Be the light in whatever room that you are, whatever space that you are, and love fearlessly within every moment and live fully within it, because the moment that you're giving is what guarantee you and manifest all things good, positive energy. And I promise you this, you will start to discover the character that you are through the darkest moment. You will start to discover the character that you are through the difficult times. You will start to discover the character that you are as you continuously persevere through each and every one of these processes. It is a process we must be willing and able to walk and complete. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I send you my love. I send you my peace. I share with you my positive energy. I share with you my desire for success. Be your desire for success for you in the light that you see yourself in. I share with you my positive vibes and unwavering good vibe of energy. I share with you the ability to stay in the moment and have only positive thoughts and do not be affected by the negative energy, the external. I share with you the power that lies within character versus personality. Don't be affected by other people's personality, and don't let the personality trait that is labeled you become your handicap. That is not who you are. It's simply what you do and the things that we see externally. You are a child of a great creator who loves you so dearly and cares for you so dearly, and he will bless you with everything and everything that you desire, because you already have it within you. He will bring it to the forefront. I love you. Stay blessed. Stay loved. Stay tuned for our next podcast. Enjoy.